Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a great Monday. Um, I know some people are going to jump in when they can, and some aren't. And this is gonna stay here. But I wanted to go live this morning because I had a conversation with an agent on my way into the office this morning, and I thought it was a really great conversation, but it's also one that I wanted to share with you because I think there's a lot of value to it, and I think there's a lot of people that have this same frustration with the market. So I wanted to share it with you. If you have questions about it, go ahead, throw it in the comments. I'll answer them as I see them. But for those that don't know me, and don't know who I am and why I'm doing this, my name is Rich Ganim. I'm the manager of the Westlake office. And part of what I do every day is, well, I help put out fires, and sometimes I'm a therapist, and other times it's helping agents kind of figure out what direction to go. So I had an agent call me this morning on my way into the office, and they're like, "Rich, I am ridiculously frustrated." I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, the last 2 weeks I wrote 13 offers and only three got accepted. I'm like, yeah, I can totally see why you're frustrated, right? Like you write 13 offers, you only get three accepted. I get the frustration. And they're like, you know what? The minute the house goes on the market, it's turning into a feeding frenzy, and we're doing all of these things, and we're getting there. We're getting beat in multiple offers. We're doing all sorts of different things, and yet 13 written offers, three accepted contracts. So yeah, there's frustration. There's frustration in the market, right? Buyers are frustrated. Um, Buyers agents are frustrated. We are frustrated, right? And yet, what can we do to manifest that frustration into an opportunity, right? What can we do to manifest that frustration into an opportunity? So I asked this agent, I said, hey, have you ever heard of the potato, the coffee, and the egg? And they're like, what are you talking about? I said, bear with me. I'm going to go down this bunny trail, but just bear with me. I promise you that by the time we get to the end of this, you'll have clarity. He said, okay. So I said, imagine you took your stove, you filled up 3 pots of water, and you got the water boiling. And after about 20 minutes, after the water started boiling, you put a bunch of potatoes in one pot and a bunch of eggs in another pot, and you took your Starbucks coffee grounds and you dumped them in the third pot, and you let that water continue to boil. And after about 20 minutes, you turned off your burners. And I said, okay, like what's the point of this? And I go, well, bear with me here, right? I said we're gonna go down a bunny trail. And so take out the potatoes, and what happens to the potatoes when you boil them? And he's like, well, they soften. Like, yep, absolutely. So we go to the eggs, and I say, all right, you take out the eggs, they cool. What do you notice about the egg? And he goes, well, the egg is hardened. I'm like, yes, great observation. So all right, go to the third pot, and you got the boiling water. You dumped in your coffee grounds. What happened to the third pot? And he goes, well, it turned into coffee. I'm like, yeah, but can you smell it? What does it smell like? He goes, it smells like coffee. Imagine you take a sip of this coffee now. What does it taste like? It tastes like coffee. And I said, yeah. I go, all right. So what is the point of this? What does this mean? And I go to him. I go. Listen. So you took this boiling water and you put potatoes in it. Potatoes go into boiling water really hard and strong and firm, right? But once they hit the boiling water, what happens? They become soft and they become weak. I go, the eggs are completely different. They go in very fragile, right? They have that thin shell, but when you put them in the boiling water, that shell protects that egg, but that egg also becomes hardened on the inside. And I said, the coffee beans, this is unique. They were exposed to the boiling water, and yet they changed the water and created something new. And I said, so when adversity knocks on your door, are you the potato? Are you the egg? Or are you the coffee? Now, I say that to you because this is kind of where we're at in our market. You can be the potato You can be the egg, or you can be the coffee. You can create whatever you want this story to be and manifest it one way or the other. It can completely soften you to the point that you're like, you know what, forget it, I'm done, I'm not doing this. It can harden you to the point that your caring goes out the window, and you're like, you know what, I get it, tough market, we're just gonna grind through. Or you can take the water that was just dumped on top of your coffee grounds, and you can create something really special with it that allows you to then go and harvest the market. So I go back to the agent and I said, all right, so now that you've decided that you're the coffee and not the egg or the potato, what does this do for you as your frustration in the market? He said, well, it still doesn't help the fact that I can't find homes for my buyers. So what do you mean you can't find them? Are they hiding? And he's like, no, they're just not on the market. I said, okay, great. So tell me about one of the buyers that you have. And he goes, it's they're looking for a 3-2 in Westlake. Their budget's about 515. They need a 3-car garage, and there's just nothing good out there. And I'm like, okay, so there's what, 2 or 3 homes on the market that might match this information? And they're like, yeah, and we've seen them, and we lost on one, and the other one is too outdated. So how many houses in Westlake are there? He was like, I don't know a lot. I go, have you talked to every one of those potential owners to see if they're willing to sell, to see if they know what they need to do to sell? I said, one of the opportunities that we have in this market right now is to create our own inventory. It's to manifest that frustration and go out and find what it is that we're looking for from a buyer's perspective. And in doing so, we might just gather a listing. So yeah, we might be tight on inventory on what's currently sitting out on the market, right? We might be short on that. And it might be really frustrating when you're in the middle of a negotiation and you were the first one in the door and now there's 16 offers. I was talking to an agent the other day. Property hit the market in Lakewood. Had 43 showings and 16 offers in 48 hours. Nobody enjoys that except the listing agent and the seller. So if you represent a buyer and you're looking to go buy into Lakewood and you just walked into 16 offers, it's a crapshoot. And yet, if we took that same information of what we wanted what the buyer wanted, and now we went to Cole Realty Resource, for example, and pulled homeowner information, and now we circle prospect around what that buyer's looking for, do we have a better chance of finding something? Or are we going to choose to sit on the sideline while listing agents are going out and listing these properties that we then turn into a feeding frenzy? See, we have the ability to create the market that we live in and that we work in and that we breathe in. So while February is the shortest month of the year, I think it's great to have this conversation today on the first day of February. Because what's going to happen is what we do this month in these 28 days are going to lay the foundation for what happens in March, April, and May in our business. So while you're frustrated, while you choose to be frustrated, somebody else is going out and going, all right, I need to create listings. Or they're going, I need to go find a home for my buyers. See, we can choose to live and to dwell in this, there's no inventory, my buyers can't find anything, this market's terrible. Or we can say, where's my opportunity? How am I going to take today and go find an opportunity for my client? How am I going to go find a listing? What can we do? Cole Realty Resource is a great example of something that we can do. You can reach out to Newman Title and they can get you a neighborhood list perhaps. And you can go reach out to those sellers and say, I have a buyer that wants to live here. Who do you know that's going to be selling? A lot of different things we can do, but don't get frustrated in this market. We can choose, hear me say this, we can choose what February looks like, and we can choose what the spring market does for us in our business. Because it's going to do it for us, it's not going to do it to us. We are going to choose what happens. And I hope that you choose to make February the most productive month of the year so that you can enjoy the fruits of the labor that you're doing these next 28 days into March, April, and May as the spring market really starts to get into full gear. If you have questions, throw it in the comments. If you reach out to me personally, call me, text me, email me, whatever you need to do. I'm here to help you build and grow your business. As I tell my agents every single time I talk to them, if you have a question and you don't know the answer, let's talk about it. Let's find it. Let's figure out a way for you to win in this market, because this is a great market to be in. This is a great market to be in. People 10 years ago in 2010, when things were in the tank, people killed for this market. And now those same people are thriving because they did the activities, they found a way to win, and they chose to be the coffee and change their environment, and they chose not to be the egg or the potato. Hope you have a great Monday. We're here if you need anything. Have a great week.